Hey everybody, this is Edujo and welcome to another video in my series on Python and the basics of Python. So in today's video I'm going to show you how to test whether or not the answer that the user has given for each question is correct or not. So for this we will be using branching, and specifically the if-else statement, or also known as the if-then statement. And basically what that means, if the answer is correct, do something, otherwise or else do something else. So there's a possibility of two things. So we're gonna now go ahead and code that. So we've got up to here, we've got up to there, so I'll just enter there, and hopefully soon we will be able to move things on a bit. So this is where we're going to use our if-then statement inside the while loop. Remember, it's all about the while loop at the moment, where it's sort of looping around the different side of things. So we start with an if. So we're going to say if. Ooh, there we go again. Right, let's try again. If. So it's lowercase, and it turns orange as well. So what we are saying, if the answer which the user has given over here, so whatever is saved in the variable ans, so if ans is equal to, now in Python if you're saying is it equal to, it's slightly different. It doesn't mean the same as that. The single equal sign is what you get when you want to say the value of that is inside, for example, the variable. But when you want to say it's exactly equal to, you have to use two equal signs. So we are saying if the answer is exactly equal to, and that will be the question, the qAns, the question ans, right? So if the answer the user has given is exactly equal to what the right answer is, so if that is true, so if that part is true, then something has to happen. So just like with a while loop, we had a colon there at the back, the same with an if-else statement. So I'm going to put a colon, and when I enter, it's going to be one tab space in. So just like when I entered there, we are tab space in from the side there, which means everything in here belongs to that. We're going to now have the same effect here. We've got that tab space, and then everything in on this line will belong to the if statement, the branching. Okay, so what's going to happen? So let's say we will say we're going to print. So we're basically giving a message. So we're going to say it's correct, or well done, or something like that. So I'm going to say correct. In fact, I'm also going to just put a spacing again. So I just want to put a bit of a spacing there. As you can see, I like my things to be spaced out a bit. So we're going to print correct, and then we also want, because the user has answered correctly, we also want to add 1 to the score. Remember, we declared the variable for score there, and currently it's got a value of 0. So we want to say score, and remember how we did it here with the question numbers. It's exactly the same thing. Score equals score plus 1. So what will happen? The score is currently 0. If the answer is correct, if that is true, then you're going to take that 0, you're going to add 1 to it, and then score will have a new value of 1. So that's what we are saying. It's going to be 1. So and then we're basically that's what's going to happen in that part. Then what we want to happen is to add the else part, so the other side of things. So we say else, obviously it's going to be and then just to keep it uniform, because if it's wrong we still need that space over there. So I'm just going to add a space, and we're going to say this time, obviously if it's incorrect, we're actually going to say incorrect. I'll just put exclamation mark as well. So let's go through this again. So if that answer, which is there, if that answer is exactly equal to that, which is that one, if those two are the same for the question, then we're going to say correct, and we add 1 to the score, which will be saved there. If that is not correct, then it immediately jumps to the else part, and it's going to say incorrect, and nothing happens to the score. It stays at 0. Okay? And then what we want to happen, before we can test it, we're not, I mean, we will see if that is like that or that is like that. We will see that, but we also want to print the score. Actually, I should maybe just run this quickly, because this is the part where I think, remember the previous video, I was expecting an error to occur after this part, but then it didn't come, and then I realized it's because we haven't used the answer yet. Remember, this is an answer that is typed in, and you will see now when I said it sort of should be the reverse of that. Hopefully you'll see. Let me test it and you can see. So I'm going to F5 it, we're going to run it, and so type your name, Edujo, and the first question is what is 6 plus 2, and the answer is going to be 8. And before there was no error. Now I'm expecting this to give me an error, or not, because it's incorrect. So again, that's not working. So question 2, what is oh, because it was incorrect, that's why it never went to the correct one. Oh my days. So what is 6 plus 10? 16. Right, this time, ooh, it said 6 plus 2. Okay, so that is where the error is, because it's saying 6 plus 2 is actually correct, but it gave it as incorrect. So let's see what this one says. 16 is incorrect, so there's something wrong here. And now we're going to go to where are we? Oops, I'm at the wrong space. Why does this not go down? Let me just do that and do that. There we go. Move that up a bit. Right, so type your answer. What is 8 plus 2 is 10. And although that should be correct, it's showing as incorrect. 6 is correct, but it's showing as incorrect. And then the last question should be 5, and it's incorrect. So basically, something is wrong, because when we're adding those numbers, although all of these are correct, it actually gave the incorrect answer. And that is something that we need to look at. We need to look at that. So the answer that we have there is the answer that we typed here, but because this is a typed answer, and I actually expected it to give us the error, because we're typing it as text, as a string. That is actually string, and that should be, and I don't know why, I was sure there's going to be an error, but anyway, so when we type in the answer here, that actually gives us a string, and then we have a string trying to compare it to the integer over there, because that is an integer. So I'm just going to go here now and say int, open bracket, and then we have exactly the same as there, and then close bracket, and then I'm just going to run it again, and then hopefully, although we didn't get an error, hopefully it'll see it as correct. So that should be correct. You see, so because we have now changed our answer from a text string, because we're typing it in, it then converted it to an integer, and then it's comparing an integer to integer, and then you get the correct one. So now we have what is 10 plus 1, just the reverse, so that should be 11 again, so hopefully that'll be correct. And I've got a double space there, actually I need to get rid of that, I don't like that. And now I'm just running out of space at the bottom, so let me just move this up. And what is 7 plus 1? That should be 8, that'll be correct. 5 plus 6 is, I'm going to say 10 to give us an incorrect. So now we know that's working, it's incorrect. And I'll do another incorrect one. 8 plus 4, I'm going to say 11. And that should be another incorrect. Okay, so at least we know that works now. And although we didn't get an error when we compared a string to a integer, so we got the text from that one to the integer from that one, and although it couldn't compare it, for some reason it went through with no error, but to fix the inaccurate adding of the questions, we had to change our answer from a string to an integer, which is the reverse of what we had there. So I'm just going to say there, converted string to integer. just so we know why that has happened. So we added the score, but we haven't displayed the score yet. So at some point we have to actually display the score. So where shall we display the score? So let's go and display the score outside of the L. So once we've finished with this one, so we're going to go right there. I'll just tab, and then we're going to print. We're going to print it here, and we're going to say something to the effect of actually, let's say the person's name, whatever the person's name is, and I'll concatenate it again. So I'm going to say whatever the person's name is, comma, and then I'm going to add to it something like, oh yeah, I'm concatenating, so we're going to say Edujo, your current score, so we'll put a space, your current score is, and then, okay, that's that one. And remember, this time I'm just going to add the variable. Your current score is score, so that's another variable, and I think that's it, isn't it? So Edujo, comma, your current score is score. I think that'll work. That should work. Let's test it. Let's test it. So before I test it, so that's a variable that's coming from there, and we're just concatenating. So we're going to put this comma right next to whatever the person is typing in, and there's going to then be a little bit of a space. Your current score is, and then that variable that has a score of 0 when it starts will have whatever value is depending on the answer, and then it's going to show what your current score is on the screen. Right, let's test that. So I F5 it, we save it, we run it. I'll just off the bat make this much smaller and just take that up. So I'll type my name, Edujo. So what is 2 plus 4? 6. Right, and now it says correct, your current score is 1. Now you can, if you want to, just before you start, you can say the score is 0 or whatever, but we know it's correct, and we know that that one is now 1. So the next one was 9 plus 9 is 18, so I'll just show you that it actually works. So correct, your score is now 2. What is 2 plus 2 is 4. Correct, your current score is 3. I'll do one wrong now. 8 plus 9 is 11. Incorrect, and the score remains the same. And I'll just do another correct. So 3 plus 4 is 7, and your score is 4. So at least we know that works. What I'm not that happy about is, for some reason, I have a double spacing over here. I just want to see why. Correct, question 3. Correct, question 4. Incorrect. So it's just before we get the question, or just at the end of the loop. So let me have a quick look. So just before we have the question, could be that one. Let me just take that one out and then just quickly test it. And let's just see what happens. What's going on? Oh, that's not how you do it. Comment. Sorry, I was using a different a different commenting style. Right, F5 it. Let's go. Right, Edujo, and type your answer. 8 plus 2 is 10. There we go. That's better. Type your answer. 14. I'll do an incorrect one just so we can. Let me just make that one shorter again. So 6 plus 6 is, I'll do an incorrect one. Right, there we go. So now it's we didn't need that one over there. So my score is 4. Cool, I'm quite good in maths. So we don't need that line, so I'm going to take that one out completely. So right, where did we get to? Ding, 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 ding. So we got to that part. So that is the if one. What is left? We've got everything there. We've got our question number that we're adding. So we are now reaching the end of the quiz. So I might as well finish this one. So let's go, and now we're going to go back to the right to the side, the very left of our just make that smaller as well. We're going to the very left of our screen. So I'm going to put in this time I'm going to put in basically telling the user that you have finished. I'm just going to say the end of the quiz, and I'm going to say something like, you have completed the quiz. You have completed the quiz, so we know the quiz is now done, and then we just need to have some sort of an indication what their total score. I know they know it, but just for the purposes of finishing this properly, we just want to say Edujo, well done, or whatever, or your final score is, or something to that effect. So I'm going to print, and I'm going to say this time name Edujo. Are we concatenating? No, let's keep going like that. So Edujo, we're going to put in a comma again, comma, and then we're going to put in continue with the concatenation, and I'm going to say your current score, or sorry, not your current, your final score. Your final score is, and I'm just forgotten, I need to put a space at the bottom there. Can I move this slightly up? There we go. Your final score is score. Again, we're using the variable for score, and yeah, we could say out of 5, I guess, so that you know what it was out of. So let's say out of 5, something to that effect. Print Edujo, comma, your final score is. Let's see what it looks like. So I'm going to run that, and let's see. I'll just quickly make that so Edujo. So this might actually work now. 1 plus 1 is 2. 1 plus 10 is 11. 10 plus 2 is 12. 8 plus 6 is 8 plus 8 is 16. 9 plus 8 is 17. And we say, so we got all the current scores. Then we have you have completed the quiz. So we have you have completed the quiz. Edujo, your final score is 5 out of 5. We probably need a full stop or exclamation mark. I just look at spaces. That's all fine. So I'm just going to put in a full stop. Let me run that again. Always good to test it. Edujo. What is 1 plus 4 is 5. I'll do one incorrectly. I'll say 12. 8 plus 7 is 15. And now we're running out of space a little bit. Let me just do that. All the way down. 6 plus 1 is 7. 9 plus 9 is 18. Right, so I know I had one wrong. So Edujo, your current score, you have completed. Edujo, your final score is, and with a full stop. All the spaces are fine. Cool. That is cool. That completes the quiz. I know we learned quite a lot in this specific video. We looked at the if-else statement, and what we saw was with this one we compared two answers, and if the score was correct, we said correct. We added 1 to our score, so the variable has a new value. Or if it was wrong, it just kept whatever the old value was. If it was wrong, it also printed incorrect. What we did see is if the answer the user gave remained a string, then it did not add it correctly. So when it compared, there was an error. By changing the string to an integer, we could then accurately compare an integer with an integer to give us the correct answer. And then it went through every question, telling us at the end of every question what our score was, whether it was correct or incorrect. The question number was added to each question, so we can see it's question 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we ended the quiz by just informing the user again, you have completed the quiz. Edujo, your final score is so much out of 5. So that's it. The quiz is completed. So you learned quite a lot of coding for this small little program, including the spaces. This program has 39 lines. I don't know if you can see it at the bottom there or not. I'll just do that and I'll bring it up. You can see here it says 39. And let me just click there. 20, oh wait, let's go all the way down. I'll click over there. 42 actually, that's at the bottom. I'll just do like that, then it's 41. So there's 41 lines of code, but we have a fully functional program, a little piece of software that you can do very basic maths with. You can use this with very young children that's just learning to add, and you can teach them like that. And obviously you can change the values here. It could be, let me do one more example. If we change that, for example, to 100, and we change this one to 100, then it'll generate random numbers between 1 and 100. So if we run this one now, this time you'll see it'll generate you know, various different, what's 74 plus 22, and that's going to be 96. 96 is correct. 46 plus 67, that's going to be, what's that, 11, that's 10, 120? I think I'm wrong. I am wrong, 110 probably. 46 plus 46, that's 45, 92. Yes, it's correct. 43 plus 19 is something, 562, I think. Whoa, where am I? Enter. 62 is correct. And then 60 plus 67, no, I'm wrong, I need to get to the bottom of this. Let me go there. Sorry, I couldn't, whoa. Let me just bring that back. I just need to see the 127. There we go. Oh, interesting. You can make it really interesting for the people that are using it. So I'm just going to take it back to the basic one of 10, so then I don't have to worry about my maths. So there we go. Excellent. So well done. If you completed up to this far, you've done a fully functional piece of software that you do a maths quiz with. So in the future, what I might do is I might add to this in future videos where we look at possibly randomizing our operators. Instead of just adding the two together, we could have random plus, minus, multiplication, division, and so on. And that'll teach you how to use lists, or arrays would be the correct phrase for that. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this series so far, and that you will tell your friends about these videos, and you will subscribe if you haven't done so. Tell your friends to subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and I hope to see you in the next video. All the best, goodbye.